What would you do if there was a girl in your class who was 8 meters tall? Would you be friends with her or would you be scared of her? Hello everyone. Today we have an unusual manga about a giant 8-meter tall girl who is trying to live an ordinary life. So, love at 8 meters. The manga begins with us being introduced to a kid named Kotaki Yumeji. He is a high school student and in his class is a giant girl and his childhood friend named Umine Chieri. And as soon as you see this shot, a lot of questions will pop up in your mind. But wait, I will answer most of them. The girl shares an eraser with the kid, and in gratitude for her help, asks for 30 servings of lunch from him. Well, she's big, so she eats a lot. The boy says that's too much. And in general, it's clear why Chieri has become so big. The girl takes offense, and the boys start to argue. But the teacher intervenes, and they tell us the backstory of the giantess. In general, Chieri transferred to the school recently. Before that, she was an ordinary girl and lived next door to Kotaka. However, at a certain point, for some unknown reason, the girl began to grow rapidly and now she is 8 meters tall. Of course, such a phenomenon could not pass people by. Journalists every day filmed reports about the unusual schoolgirl. But with time, the noise subsided, and now Chieri lives a normal school life. Kotaki is her assistant, appointed by the government. There, they created a special support department for the giantess. They create different everyday things for her, for example, a phone, school supplies, a chair, a desk. It stands outside, by the way, and the girl listens to the teacher from there during lessons. However, not everything comes out perfectly and a button on her blouse gets lost. The girl is embarrassed, but for the guy's sake, she is willing to walk around like this. Kotaki, on the other hand, notices that there are all kinds of perverts looking down at the heroine who like to watch the giant girl from below. Chieri thinks that if she puts on shorts, everything will be fine. But the guys only get annoyed by this. The girl gets embarrassed and asks her assistant for help. The guy thinks for a moment, then abruptly grabs a giant Chieri phone and jumps out the window on it. Okay, don't repeat this at home. The guy disperses the perverts by taking pictures of them with his phone. The giantess then comes down to the same level as the hero and smiles very sweetly. The guy is embarrassed, and the girl takes him in her hand, lifts him up to her, and thanks him for saving her. It looks both weird and cute at the same time. Kotaki realizes that although Chieri has grown physically, she is still the same girl who lived next door to him. The boy promises to protect her. Chieri blushes profusely. Thoth realizes that it was like a confession and blushes too. But the girl has already memorized everything. There's no taking it back. The next day, Chieri calls Kotaki for lunch, but he refuses because it's embarrassing. The girl insists, since it's such a cool opportunity to have lunch with a hottie like her. Kotaki can't stand it, breaks free from her grasp and runs away. But that just gets the girl hyped up. A school-wide chase ensues, which is very coolly drawn. Eventually, Chieri catches our guy in the bathroom. He notices the giantess's shredded fingers and realizes she was making lunch for him. And that's, hard when you're 8 tall. So the guy ends up taking micro bento. I mean, for him it's normal size, but for the girl it's some kind of toy dish. The guy tastes the food and it's delicious. Chieri is very happy that the boy likes it. Except her food isn't as tasty. Still, for a giantess, lunch makes the government. The guy agrees to share his lunch with her. But Chieri is not so simple. She asks the hero to feed her. This is of course embarrassing, but there's nothing to do. He is, after all, assistant, and a very sweet scene ensues. The girl doesn't taste it because the bite is too small. The next day, Chieri wakes up Kotaki right in his room. Oh, now that's a shot, okay? I'm starting to like it in a weird way. What should I do? Okay, I'll try not to be biased. The guy gets scared, and the girl tells him to hurry up and get dressed. They end up going to school together. Kotaki climbs up on her shoulder, and not like I remember the Titan attack, but it looks cool. I'd go for a ride. Along the way, Chieri started helping people. She saved a grandmother from a car, ripped out a tree, caught a mugger. By the way, there was a chase and the giantess, not thinking long enough, put Kotaki in the safest place. The guy almost died from that, but he was obviously very pleased. Then the guys have a heart-to-heart talk. Chieri admits that she used to be weak, but now she has changed. Truthfully, she still really likes that the guy wants to protect her. After all, as a kid, he called himself her prince. Chieri ends up asking Kotaki to stroke her head like when she was a child. And it's really cute again. What's the matter? You're not going to get me into your giant woman lovers club, at least I'm going to resist. The character gathers all the will in his fist and is about to pet the girl, but she reduces everything to a joke. Both characters blush profusely and head off to school. The first class was physical education. Chieri easily overtakes the classmates in the race, which isn't particularly fair. Oh well. Meanwhile, our guy gets hit in the face by a ball. The giantess laughs at him and says that nothing has changed since they were kids. Like she was always more athletic and taught the guy how to jump and climb trees. Kotaki takes offense, and then Chieri takes the towel away from him and starts teasing him. Like, try to climb on my body and take the towel. When the guy has already decided to do so, the girl remembers that her body is sweaty after working out. Because of this, Chieri gets distracted, and the guy climbs on top of her and takes his towel. The girl is embarrassed, but the guy says it's okay and congratulates her on winning the race. In class, we notice that it is going to rain outside. And you do not forget that Chieri is not sitting in the classroom, but outside. But especially for such moments, the ministry has equipped the whole school with special canopies that protect the giantess from rain, snow, hail, and sun. And Chieri also forgot her special umbrella. She asks her boyfriend to share his umbrella with her. But it's a pretty stupid idea. Chieri takes off her cardigan, throws it on the guy's shoulder, and they run home together. Again, the artist has produced some really cool art. At some point, the rain stops. The girl starts whining, saying she hasn't grown up at all. She forgot her umbrella and then ran in the rain, to which the guy says she's beautiful just the way she is. The girl gets embarrassed, and the guy backs up, saying he meant it was cool to run in the rain. Chieri gets angry and squeezes her skirt right over Kotaki's head. But then, as an apology, the heroine invites him to her house. Here comes the experimental angles again. Kotaki wonders how the ministry built a giant house so cool. He thought she'd be living in a hangar or something. Then the kid looks at old pictures, but the girl won't let him finish and throws him in the bathtub so he won't get sick. The guy accidentally sees the girl's underwear, which is giant girl underwear. While he's bathing, Chieri dries his clothes with a giant hairdryer. Wonder how much she pays for electricity. Then the guy throws a towel around her neck and thanks her for her help. The girl is embarrassed and says that since he's her assistant, let him help dry her hair. He agrees, and we catch another cute scene. And I like this manga more and more. The next day, Chieri comes to school with glasses. You see, she looks cuter that way. It also helps her focus on her studies. Kotaki believes her, but the girl immediately falls asleep in class. The guy tries to wake her up and scold her, but the teacher notices this and makes the hero answer a difficult question. But the guy manages. Chieri whispers in her ear that it was cool, which makes the guy fall down. For this, the teacher makes the girl answer the next question. A funny moment happens here. Chieri habitually stands up to answer, but because she is very tall, her head ends up at the level of the third floor. The students are then supposed to read the notes, but the giantess forgot her notebook. She asks Kotaki to share it with her, to which the guy asks a reasonable question. How will she read such small print? But the girl's got a giant magnifying glass, which almost caused the notebook to catch fire. In the end, Chieri fell asleep again in the last lesson. The guy wanted to start cursing, but then he remembered that the girl helps people every day and that giants don't have an easy life. He also caught a glimpse of her pretty face, and that's where Chieri caught him. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos.